I am sure sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
All right, good evening, good night, good morning, wherever you're watching from. Welcome back to the channel. I am Manisman, and we have very important breaking information to share with you. So stay tuned. It's going to be good. Let me just give you some basic things that you need to do. 3 things. All right, you need to hit the like button, subscribe if you have not yet subscribed, share the content with somebody else who will subscribe to that platform. I am your host, Manisman, and I want to speak to you about a situation that just broke with KASAFA and the Jamaica Football Federation. KASAFA being the Kingston and St. Andrew Football Association, who are affiliates of the Jamaica Football Federation. But KASAFA have their own affiliates. All the clubs in Kingston and St. Andrew are affiliated to KASAFA. And so they need some KASAFA authorization to participate in competitions. So you'd have also heard that there is a pending under-20 tournament that is supposed to take place. That would include the teams in the Premier League from KASAFA, Portmore United out of St. Catherine, and the national under-17 team who are preparing for the upcoming qualifiers for the U17. All right, that was set. The fixtures have been printed. The games have been set up. All of that supposed to start as soon as the JPL is finished, and the JPL's final is on Sunday. All right, now we receive some information from KASAFA that has put the whole thing into serious doubt and turmoil. And we are going to get into it. So before we do, let's hear from our sponsors.
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
All right, so there it is. That is a letter from KASAFA. All right. Now, the letter, I'm going to read it for you, but this is what KASAFA sent out. You'll see the date The date is July 1st, which is today, 2022. It says this: the Kingston and St. Andrew Football Association, KASAFA, notes the announcement of a Junior Premier League open and quotation. It says, by Mr. Rudolph Speid. So it was announced by Mr. Rudolph Speid, all right? The league, quote unquote, is to be contested by 8 teams, which includes 6 KASAFA affiliated clubs. So Portmore, the under-17, Mullines, Harborview, Waterhouse, Arnett Gardens, Tivoli, right? So you have Mullines, you have Waterhouse, Cavaliers, Harborview, Arnett Gardens, Tivoli, those 6, plus the under-17, plus Portmore United. That would make up the 8. So it's a 6 KASAFA affiliated clubs. Also, the announcement has the Professional Football of Jamaica, PFJL, Premier League logo attached to it. All right. It says KASAFA was not asked to sanction this competition and has not. All right. Not sure if KASAFA needs to sanction it, but they said they have not sanctioned it and they have not asked to. Further, KASAFA has not been informed by the Jamaica Football Federation, the JFF, that it has approved it either. So the JFF has not yet communicated to the Kingston and St. Andrew Football Association about this. All right. All that has happened has come through Mr. Rudolph Speid and the PFJL, not the JFF, according to KASAFA's letter. All right. So considering the non-authorization of the governing bodies, which is, I suspect, the JFF and KASAFA. KASAFA advises that its affiliates, as subscribers to its constitution, may be at risk of contravention under Clause 4D. Accordingly, you are directed to withdraw from said Junior Premier League competition and inform KASAFA by Tuesday, July 5th, 2022 in writing of the same. So by Tuesday, the 8 Premier League clubs who are part of this Junior Premier League must withdraw according to KASAFA, and they must present their withdrawal in letter form to KASAFA. Any failure to do so will result in your club and its management being subject to disciplinary action for breaching the aforementioned constitutional clause. To all they come to bum, this is serious business. This is ticking and it is talking like a time bomb about to explode in the Kingston and KASAFA Football Association, along with the Jamaica Football Federation. It seems to be a very speedy matter that is going to take place. We may need to get the butler involved to take out the bomb so it doesn't detonate. Anyways, moving right along. Upon a hearing, so there is going to be a hearing, meaning there is going to be a meeting where the matter is going to be discussed. This is spicy stuff right here. If your club is found guilty of the said infraction of the association's constitutional clause, please note sanctions penalties, or conditions may include monetary fines, suspension, or expulsion. Please be guided accordingly. That's from the president of KASAFA. What kind of madness are we witnessing in our football? What the alligator tail is going on? I cannot for the life of me understand this. Somebody with a greater level of intelligence and knowledge need to come and speak with me. Is it that Mr. Speid has started a competition without the approval of the JFF, including KASAFA teams without speaking to KASAFA? Or is it that KASAFA must give approval for its affiliates to participate in a JFF sanctioned competition? Does this mean that the competition will not take place? Or is it that KASAFA wants somebody from the JFF to speak to them so the approval can be granted by KASAFA? Is this the same principle that applies to the Premier League club? Is that for them to participate in the JPL, they need KASAFA's sanctioning? Is it the same reason why we don't have any KASAFA clubs in the Tier 2? Because the club cannot go and participate in it without KASAFA's approval. So is it then that KASAFA is a greater force in the nation's football than the Jamaica Football Federation? Is KASAFA affiliated to the FIFA rules above the JFF, or it is through the JFF? Now, if Tivoli Garden plays this, will KASAFA banish them? Will Arnett Garden be banished from football? Waterhouse, Cavaliers? Now, what about the great Harborview? Will Harborview even participate? Should we also expect that maybe the first one to withdraw will be Harborview out of this competition? Or what will Cavaliers do, seeing that Mr. Speid team is in it? Does this affect the U17? If these U17 players are affiliated to KASAFA clubs, or they have no control over players but over clubs, and therefore the U17 can play in the competition though the players are registered to clubs in KASAFA? All of these questions we would like to answer. But as our friend on the Royal Palm Estate would say, this is quite contrary. Something is amiss. There's something foul about this. And we need the referee's whistle and VAR to step in and bring a reasonable conclusion to the matter. For this cannot be the way of any nation that is properly structured and organized. This cannot be the way of operating in the footballing space. Thank you for watching. We await the responses from all those who are connected to this. I am Man's Man. This has been I Am Sure Sports. Remember to like, share, and subscribe.
Me say I am sure sports.
Yo, watch about dog, SK New Air this. The body out there, Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, you cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocho-Race, Galtigo Bay. Everywhere. I Am Sure Sports. Check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like? Ha! Yeah, someone on for the food from we young, from we day, you need height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.